have those people who never ask for the server. I can do everything by myself through Christ who strengthened me. Yes, we know Patricia. But no man is an island. Sometimes you need people. You can never do everything by yourself.
Oh,
we all
child,
need someone.
I will overreact from A to Z, January to December. I'm there. If you want me in there, throw me in there.
These are the core issues that we're talking about. And honey, I know I got some
a child. Are you acting like a child? You need to grow up right now. Oftentimes that's true, because we often switch back to our inner child and we forget the level that we are in life.
From a very young age,
you lay your development foundation. Actually, the experience that you go through lay that foundation for you. It's not your fault that you were molested growing up. It's not your fault that you were neglected growing up. It's not your fault that you grew up in an orphanage. It's not your fault that your parents were very busy at work and they never really had time for you. It's not your fault that you grew up in a single-headed family and your mother couldn't manage to divide her attention amongst you and your 8 siblings. It's not even your fault that you grew up in a child-headed family. But hey, at the end of the day, we live such life and we came across it. Unfortunately, that's how life it is sometimes. First of all, I'd love to encourage you to face your inner child, stare her down into the mirror, or hunt her down wherever he or she might be hiding, and confront him. You really need to do this for your future spouse, most especially for your children. Growing up, we've lived through our parents' trauma. Our parents went through so much in life, and in return they passed that burden to us. And when some of the children were starting from one, building their emotional journey, some of us has to start from 100, from 1,000. Why? Because of the path that we went through as children, because of the experience that we came across as we were growing from a very young age. It's very, very crucial that you deal with your inner child. It's very, very crucial that you face these monsters as early as now, because trust me, you don't want to be passing those traits again to your children. That's a lot of baggage. You dealt with it. Spare your future son, spare your future daughter, and most importantly, spare your spouse that kind of a trauma. It's a lot to deal with. So take your time, build yourself up. It doesn't matter where you are, honey. They say the first step to anything, or the first step to success, is accepting that you have these factors, accepting that you have these issues, accepting that you have this problem, and start from there and start building up. You will be surprised if you weren't motivated to do it for yourself. At least do it for them. Yeah, do it for them. With that being said, my topic for today is healing your inner child, reparenting yourself as you heal your inner child. Because honey, we need you to be the first lady tomorrow. We don't want a first lady who wouldn't know how to lead the whole nation. We're not gonna have you out here leading the nation and you can't even lead your own household. So build yourself. We need the best version of you, that authentic self that is not distracted by trauma, that is not shielded by depression, that is not hidden through anxiety. We want to deal with the real you. Deal with yourself. Deal with your issues. And let's get to see the best so much damage going on into the world. We don't want you adding to the damage that's already going on. Yeah? We could use a better generation, but it starts with us. It starts with us digging deep and dealing with our past so that we can move on into our future as a bright generation. Welcome what are the examples of this traumatizing behavior that forced us or molded us into the people that we are today, or those that contributed? I want to believe that there are contributing factors. So this, like, for example, you being guilt tripped. Child abandonment is one of those blaming the child
Examples.
and guilt tripping them. Like, for instance, parents have this tendency of blaming their children for lack of happiness. Not all the parents, obviously, but some of the parents, they have something like, it's your fault we are poor today, it's your fault that I got out of work. It's your fault that I have to work 3 jobs for me to maintain this family. As if you ask someone to bring you into this world. First of all, you never ask them, but hey, they still blame you anyway. Abandonment. You have parents who are never there. Like, you have children from morning to evening just being by themselves, and these are toddlers. The first thing that your mom or dad do when they wake up is go next door to mass sport. We know those parents who stay the whole day there. If you are unfortunate, they even take you as a toddler. Like, you'd see a grown up woman carrying a 2-year-old, taking them to the next traditional beer spot that's next to you. When they get there, they buy beer for this child, and then they buy beer for themselves. So it's for them and the child. And these are the type of trauma that I'm talking about. Imagine the foundation that that child's building at that process. They grow up knowing that, where do you go? Support. That's the very first place you go in the morning. So these are the kind of behaviors that I'm talking about. Imagine you were raised in a single-headed family, and one day you come back from school. Like, when I was in primary school, I remember I had to there were a couple of times that I'd come back home and then there was literally no one. And imagine you come home, and unfortunately the world that we're living in is not safe, and there is this man who sees you going in, and they come in, then they take advantage of you, because we have so many cases of men taking advantage of young children. And imagine this is the kind of experience you had to go through. Where will your emotional level be? How fit would you be as an adult? Because these things would lay that foundation. And imagine, the one thing that I know most African parents do, it's mental boundaries. They'll tell you that you'll never, ever make it. You are a nobody. Your mother or your aunt or your cousin's son or whatever, if they get upset with you, these are the things that they will tell you. Even in school, your teacher will literally tell you point blank, you're never gonna make it in life. Who do you think you are with this kind of behavior? You will never be anything. These are the things that you live with. So imagine a child has to live with such experience. These are the things that lead for the inner child to run and hide. Why? Because they are protecting themselves. Nobody ever wants pain. We do not want pain. So these patterns, when you come across these patterns repetitively, the inner child hides away. They hide within themselves. And then you grow up, you become an adult who don't trust people, who's often yelling at people, who doesn't know how to deal with distress, who doesn't open up to anyone. You have those people who never ask for the favor. I can do everything by myself through Christ who strengthened me. Yes, we know Patricia, but no man is an island. Sometimes you need people. You can never do everything by yourself. We all need someone. Okay, so deal with your inner child. Heal that wounded child. Focus on him, focus on her, invest in her. How do we get to that? This is my favorite part. Let's reparent. Yeah? We're reparenting our inner child because our future depends on it. Before we get to reparenting our inner child, there are core issues that we have. This doesn't necessarily mean that if you have some of these, you have an inner child that you wanna mold. But it wouldn't hurt just taking a look in the mirror. Yeah, it wouldn't. But some of the core issues as being one of them is being a perfectionist. You always want for things to go in a certain way. You always want things to go according to your way. It's your way or no way at all. You always want to be in control, like you have control issues, like everything has to be the way you want it. If it's not the way you want it, that's not happening. If it means you're surrendering your control over to someone, again, that's not happening. The other one is mistrusting people. Like, no matter how hard people try, no matter how right people are with you, actually, no matter how people treat you, you never trust anyone. Like, you always keep them at an arm's length. These are the core issues that comes up with having an inner wounded child that needs attention, that literally screams for your attention. The other thing is being impulsive. When something happens, the very first thing that comes to mind is run. Oh, child, you will run as fast, as far away as possible. Why? Because see things through as not in your nature. See things through means you have to accept that you contributed. You have to accept that you were wrong, that you don't know it all. You have to accept that you are human. Unfortunately, most often we'd like to believe that some of us are superhumans, aliens to be precise, but it's good. It's a core issue that you have to check in, and unfortunately, that's one of my traits. Or overreacting. Either way, you get what I'm saying. Oh, child, I will overreact from A to Z, January to December. I'm there. If you want me in there, throw me in there. These are the core issues that we're talking about. And honey, I know I got some of them. I know. This is why we're here. I'm dealing with my inner child as well. So you might as well join me. The first thing that you want to do is to create a safe environment and an exploration mind. You want that baby to feel secure. At the same time, you want her to get out of her comfort zones. So you ask yourself, if that pattern repeats itself, how would an older person deal with it? Let's say that's not you at that point. Question yourself, because oftentimes you'll have a 27-year-old Helen acting like a 7-year-old Helen. So when that happens, how would an older person address a 7-year-old Helen? Tune into that. In a very safe manner, don't be aggressive. Remember, it's a 7-year-old Helen within a 27-year-old Helen. So make a safe environment. At the same time, encourage her to leave her comfort zone into a new territory. Because being young, as good as that sounds, can't serve us as an adult. We need to cross over. So, number one, you have to validate her. Recognize that she's there. Recognize that that feeling is there. Recognize that reaction is there. Be aware. Don't deny it. Be aware. And then second, be intimate. Try to connect with her. Try to understand why she feels the way she's feeling. Smooth her, like help her. Not help her, but yeah, help her make you understand the feeling, like why are we shouting? Why are we having that reaction? What triggered it? Let's understand. And then third, let's give this inner child a voice. Oftentimes, people don't have a voice. Oftentimes, when you were groomed, that you didn't matter, your voice doesn't matter. Whenever you wanted to express or explain why you do things the way you do, or why you did what you did, somebody just cut you short. Shut up! What do you think you would do? So you never really had that voice. So give this inner child a voice. Let her known. Let her feel heard. And then fourth, be aware. Be mindful. Pick up these cues when they are happening. Be very, very mindful. It's very important, because you know what they say about consistency? It's key. So you want to be mindful. When is this happening? When I'm doing what? When what is happening? How am I reacting to blue color as compared to black? How am I reacting to red as compared to brown? Be mindful. Am I more sensitive when it's raining or when it's hot? Be very mindful. And then number 5, encourage and nurture your inner child for self-efficacy. Encourage her. It's okay. It's okay. Remember, we're trying to get her out of her comfort zone. It's okay. It's okay for you to fail. But failing doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay down. It happened, you fail, but it's okay to try again, baby. Let's take that another step. It's like having a baby on a tricycle that learning to ride for the first time. You know, you have to hold them steady for a little while, and then you let them go on their own. And then when they lose their balance, eventually they fall. You don't say, no, come back in the house, come sit down, baby, I'm so sorry. No. You try again, over and over again, up until they feel confident about themselves, up until they reach that level where they can just do it by themselves. That's exactly what you have to do with your inner child. Why? Because it's an inner child, honey. You have to be vigilant. You have to be very, very careful. You have to nurture them. It has to be safe, remember? So safety means we hold with care, tender care. Trust me, it's not easy, but it's worth it. And we all know that anything that's worth it in this life means you invest in yourself. It means energy. It means amounts of time. It means hard work. Put in the work. You need it. It might not look like it right now, but you need it. Trust me, you do. And then the 6th thing is responsive. Be responsive. Help this inner child to learn how to cope with situation and have a way of solving problems. Help them learn. Let them explore. Help them learn. Let them know that it's okay to fail, but doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up. And if you failed, it means no means you're one step away from yes. So help them learn. Help them find a way of solving problems by themselves. Like, they have to understand. Nurture that baby, honey. Nurture that baby. We need to be nurturing. And then the 7th thing, I don't even know you say the 7th thing, but number 7 is authenticity. Spread the wings and fly. You fall back again. You fall, you get up on your feet again. You fall, get up on your feet again. Allow yourself to be who you are. Unapologetically, honey. Be you. Unapologetically. We know it's okay to fail now. We know how to solve problems. So let's be authentic. Stop being fake. Ish. Fake people, stop being fake. Oh, your inner child doesn't need that. Stop it. It doesn't serve you. I don't understand why people want to be fake. But y'all, you know, there are a lot of fake people in this world. I don't know. I understand there's more bad than good. No. You have to be authentic at all times. Allow yourself to be who you are. Whosoever accepts you for who you are, then that's good. Whosoever can't, well, they're not supposed to be there in the first place. Allow your inner child to be who they are. Allow themselves to explore. Let them be who they are. And the last one is unconditional love, honey. Ah, don't you just love love? I love love. Love is just everything. They say money makes the world round. I think love does. Love yourself. You are lovable. You are adorable. You are the most beautiful creature I've ever seen. Love yourself. You may have done unquestionable things in your adult, so I beg your pardon. You may have done unquestionable things as a child or even as an adult. But honey, you need to love yourself. Accept that you did those things. Take responsibility and let go. Love yourself. It's not fair that you keep replaying. It's not fair that you keep moving in circles. It's not fair at all. Love yourself. No matter what, always love yourself. Let that inner baby know that whatever happened then happened, but it doesn't define who we are today. Love yourself. Be in an inner peace, in a loving peace. Let your inner child be surrounded by love in there, wherever she's hiding. I keep pointing. I don't know which side is my heart even. Wherever my heart is, I kept pointing. I think my inner child is like hiding in my heart. I think either heart or brain. At this point, it's confusing, but one of the two. Let's stick to the heart because it's closer. Anyway, love your inner child. It's okay to let go. Yes, it is scary, but baby inner child, I'm here. I got your hand. Let's do this. Yeah? We got this. We got this, Musne. Yeah. Piece of cake. As long as we put in the work, as long as we believe in ourselves, as long as we take responsibility, as long as we know that whatever happened or whatever will happen doesn't define us and doesn't hold us down, as long as we know that life is a journey, and we might as well enjoy the journey as much as the destination, like as much as we know that the journey literally is the destination. Yeah. Love yourself, my love. Love yourself. Go all out. Go bowling big. Anyway, that's all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please love, subscribe, share with your friends. This is coming from my heart, from my inner child to yours. Let's build these babies and let's kick some ass. Sorry. But we got this, yeah? We got this.